So good morning or good afternoon, everyone. The first thing I'd like to do is to greet you all. I wish, of course, that I could be there with you here at this celebration of the Way, but it wasn't to be. I would also like to thank the organisers of today's event, as I think it is important to come together to give thanks for the 43 years of the Way's existence, for all we were able to do collectively, for the friendships engendered, the laughter, the tears, the hopes, and the difficult times. For those of you who do not know me, I am David Holcroft, a Jesuit priest living and working here in Rome with refugees, the international homeless people. My connection to the Way goes back nearly all of its history. I spent 9 years working there full-time in 3 episodes. What I'm going to share with you today is a personal reflection. I do not pretend to speak for others who I worked with during those times, nor do I pretend to speak to others who worked at the Way in other times. When I think back on the Way now, my first thought is just how difficult it all was. I get exhausted just thinking about it. The day-to-day task of reading the men's emotional baggage, their behaviours, dealing with their violence, the compulsive behaviours, and so on, all helping them re-find their trust and dignity. Of trying always to find hope and life when there often seemed so little to go on. That we collectively were able to do that successfully and to do it consistently for so long is an extraordinary accomplishment, and I think one of which we can well be satisfied with and can genuinely give deep thanks for. Each of us has our own story with the Way and its people, and I will not bore you here with mine. However, I would like to share with you a few words that come to mind when I think now of the Way. Generosity. So many people, donors, volunteers, and people who helped in other ways all displayed huge degrees of generosity and often self-sacrifice to make the place work and to keep it going. I think the group slowly developed the skills of behavioural management, also discernment and other qualities which had their root in that generosity. Compassion. The Way was a school of compassion. It brought out the best in us and sometimes the worst. It was a place where a group of very isolated people found a set of non-judgmental ears, people who were trying to understand and who withheld quick judgment. That many of them gradually began to trust again was the first step towards genuine human dignity. This was something quite miraculous in many cases. Forgiveness. The Way was a school of forgiveness. We made many, many mistakes in our handling of the people, their situations, relationships, and so on. But there was a genuineness and an authenticity. It was for me the first place I felt genuinely forgiven and slowly became able to forgive others. Hope. All of this, no matter how flawed, led me, at least, to a sense of hope for my own life, which I had hitherto not experienced. I think of the way our society in so many ways removes the humanity of people and drives them to despair. Yet here was a place where, in the midst of seeming hopelessness, there was a profound sense of life and hope. We now have many companions whose business model, we now have many companies whose business model is to create addiction and reliance on their product. For me, the Way stands as a corrective of this, as we saw what such dependence can do to people. In total, the The Way was a school of the Beatitudes, and I dare say that all of us here, in whatever walk of life we chose subsequently, are all living out something of what we learnt at The Way. And I think we have a group of people whom we tried to look after here, who have come to an eternal life and are praying for us and supporting us each and every day, which is a wonderful thing indeed. So let me end where I began, with thanks. The Way was never about one person, but what God was able to do through a group of people over many, many years. We have much to be thankful for what was part of our lives and continues to be so. Thank you all and enjoy the day.